on alternating nights and weekends.
Like the offering on the altar of our nightstands.
Your retractable arm's the only thing that hugs mommy and daddy at the same time anymore.
We disconnect you at your joints, fold you up like
those types of strollers made of gadgets and accessories. And when we shuffle you about, you smile. Beauty, forgive me for not being there.
Well, I labored the whole night away.
Like a lone train in the dark.
The months you spent inside of me, crafted a name.
Mine. Your mother says.
Your father shed his ego on the day you were born, and I never saw him
so naked and pure. On the day you were born, I saw your mother unflawed.
Yet all he could
ask her, if you can do all this, how come you couldn't save me?
Beauty.
This is the type of thankless arrogance we ask your forgiveness for.
I can only hope that you don't use the standard
by which we love each other as a piss-poor measure of whether we would implode our hearts for you, baby. I can't promise you anything.
I can't promise you anything, but this hard kind of love,
made soft by my own two hands.
He said, quoting Theodore Parker, who was an abolitionist in the 19th century, who was quoted by Martin Luther King, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And so this poem, I think, references that idea. On why I continue to write poetry for Adriana Rich. I think of Anna Akhmatova, grieving, awkward, writing on cigarette paper, toilet paper, the backs of bills and envelopes in her mind at night when it's a blackout, when she knows there are watchers at her window. Writing in her ear, her voice on skin, her body a sheet of paper for words she cannot put down. Carrying her fear, love, hatred, those words written down on her life. She's nobody, a woman without a husband. They'd shot him at midnight, and she cannot cry yet. But see, here are her poems. 50 years later, 100 years later, Anna Akhmatova is still writing, and Stalin is dead.
6. Balut, balut. We eat the developing body, and I eat you, my blood. My sullied brown knock-knee, my sponsored child. My limbs and bowed shins, my little squatter hemorrhaging into the river. Darling, musin who calls me to feast on your intestine. Blood, sister, do you hear me? I am crawling up your ear canal. I am the loudness in your pulse. I am the dole, the lynx caracal, who are feasting on your throat. I am the hatchel in your hair and at your elbow with papillote. I am the eyeful, the fistful, the severed self. I am the countryman whose run is underdone and undone. And I am the tightened asshole, the sliced onion, and builder of all shanties. Friend, I am your disease, and I am at ease, and I am the tangle, the small ravel, the singing philomel. Friend, and I am the knell, the giant clamshell, the tolling city bells. Sister, I am the yell in your stomach, your own yell. And I am eating you because you take my place in the streets. You fill my mouth because I am empty of memory, birthright, the bruise of begging, empty. And this is hunger. This is hunger. Thank you.
And I'll close with this poem called Blackberry Pie. Blackberry pie is kernels of juice, blue. Mom makes it do magic heat to vanilla ice cream, purple dream. There were many nice things, the corduroy pinafore, the daily notes in lunch sack, of a smiley face and curly Q hair. Your mama loves you and do great with a thermos of homemade soup. Dad, too, he rocked me on front porch after 7 yellow jacket stings. I howled through the valley in baking soda paste while he sang, "In the Big Rock Candy Mountain." But just like Grandma Vernon always said, don't bother doing anything nice for your children. They'll only remember the bad things anyway. Like when she tethered my dad to the front yard tree so he could play when she was at work. Was that bad? A ruined childhood? Bless her heart. And pie, too, is sometimes tart. Thank you.
Song. I dreamed my voice was an anasazi pot, filled with tewa, ladino, and nahuatl. The conquistadores crushed it when they heard its savage sounds. My songs and prayers bled into the ground. And when the West was won and paved, the topsoil with all my words blew away. 7 shards of pottery were all I could find. I strung them together, a wind chime. I am mute, but the breeze is strong. Oh, sad, triumphant, beautiful song, my sad, triumphant, beautiful song.
But in this time of instant communication and instant food preparation and instant gratification of all kinds, it's good to be reminded of this. It has as many syllables as a haiku, so it won't take long, although I don't claim it is a haiku at all. Okay? It's a long war. Celebrate every small hill. Sing your songs, dance, dance.
My weekly allowance just covered the price of the under 12 ticket plus 1 small bag of M&Ms. Sometimes I'd buy a Mounds bar instead. Its gritty mix of coconut and dark chocolate still lures me. At the Uptown Lobo, depending on mood and finances, I'd alternate between sticking my flat chest out, pretending I needed adult admission, and trying to get in for the junior price. Each had its advantage. After the show, our lustful dreams propelled us weak-kneed from the theater, fully inhabiting Debbie or Elizabeth. I remember wondering if some sort of biological metamorphosis might actually have taken place during those 2 hours of movie house dark. Such was the intensity of the changes in body and state of mind. For hours, we were our idols. If we'd known those men were gay, our world would have spun into distant space, our longing altered forever. 60 years later, the Sunshine and El Rey host second-rate cowboy bands. The Lobo's triangular marquee announces the weekly services of a religious congregation called City on the Hill. Only the chemo has kept and nurtured its old elegance. Light still glows mysterious behind the carved masks that flank its stage. Ours was an era that offered equal measure of innocence and ignorance. Back in the 1950s, by the time we turned our attention to Ingrid Bergman, everything had changed.